I'm serious.
You're gonna start your own charity.
I think I could be a philanthropist. A kick-ass philanthropist. I would have all this money and people would love me. Then they would come to me and beg.
You know, Rizzo, when fate smiles on me, I always make it a practice to pass on some of the good fortune, to give something back, to help others.
Yeah, me too.
Good.
Absolutely.
It is portrayed on television and discussed in the media. The majority of Americans participate in it or benefit from it. But yet, how much do we really know about this concept of giving?
What is philanthropy?
No idea.
Usually that's when a rich person does something without taking a profit for someone in need.
By giving, you are helping preserve arts.
Philanthropy. I don't know. I think it has something to do with money, maybe.
Acting?
I don't know.
It's a term from ancient Greek, means the love of humankind.
Private collective action for the public good. There are certain things that the private economy doesn't do very well or won't produce because people can't figure out how to make a profit on it. And there are things that government won't do because there's not enough of a consensus.
There are many ways people can give.
Last year, as a prerequisite for my Gold Award for Girl Scouts, I started a reading program for them, which happened over their summer program here, and that was really exciting.
Children that have been taken from their parents, from their families, and put in there for their own safety, and they go with the clothes on their back, and so we give them clothes.
This is part of being a good citizen. It's what we're supposed to do.
We didn't used to have farmers markets as much as we do now. I mean, I think they've tripled, quadrupled in the past 10 years. That is consumer demand, and you're seeing that influence. So it's certainly something you can do on a daily basis, vote with your dollar.
Well, one of the things that got me into volunteering was retirement. Of course, you have a little more time, and it represented a way that I could indulge in my passion for flying with another passion for helping folks.
Like, there's a lot of kids starving right now around the world, not only Africa. And by doing this, we just try to show other people, like, how other people feel that don't have food or anything to eat.
Came back to California, got drafted by the San Francisco 49ers. And then that's when once I started my foundation, I knew what I wanted to get into with foster youth, specifically aging out, that transition into adulthood.
We don't want to make the bars very perfect because we want to make sure that they don't go into the black market. So when you make them too perfect, then they want to be sold. So what I'm trying to do is make sure this soap reaches the right people, and those are refugees, vulnerable people like orphans, people who really need the soap.
There are times when particular issues move us to engage in social activism.
She said to me, "Andy, don't you know they will kill you for what you are doing? They have killed for less than what you're doing." And I said to her, "Yes, Mama, I understand, I appreciate it. But if this is the way I die, so be it. This is the way I want to go." That was a commitment that we had to make.
I felt that the war was wrong, and we started a movement of civil disobedience. We're not going to obey this law. We think it's invalid. We refuse to accept it and participate in it. And if you don't like us, send us to jail. And they did.
I believe every citizen ought to be a social activist. I think everybody, unfortunately, I think what people don't realize is that every citizen is a social activist. And by doing nothing, they give over the benefit of that portion of the power they have to somebody else.
Faith and religion have influenced the giving of some Americans.
One of the 5 pillars of the faith is zakah, and zakah is a mandatory alms that must go to 8 different categories of people. So not only the poor and the indigent, but also people are in debt, people are in any form of slavery. Today we have human trafficking, we have people in prison.
Through our charity is how God is expressed to the world through us. That he started out with that God is love, and just to say you love somebody is only a beginning, but to demonstrate it by service or action is actually love in action, and therefore that's where God is found.
Tzedakah is a Hebrew word that is roughly translated as charity, but that really misses the picture. Tzedakah comes from the word tzedek, which means righteousness or correctness. And therefore, when you give charity, you're not doing something special, you're doing the right thing.
Philanthropy is not perfect.
Only $1 in $3 given by the largest American foundations is intentionally seeking to benefit vulnerable or marginalized communities, even when very broadly defined.
You got to remember that the vast majority of fraud never gets into the public.
The number one thing that stands out when it comes to nonprofits maybe doing something wrong is the long leash that has been given to leadership of nonprofits by board of directors not doing their jobs.
We're demanding that all of our donations go immediately into services, and that none of our donations go into the kind of infrastructure that we'd actually need to build to solve some of the great problems of our time.
It's the old sad story of I'm only one person, what can I do? When in fact, one person is the only thing. You know, Helen Keller said, the only thing that can matter is one person who really cares enough to step up.
Philanthropy is a part of American history and continues to play an important role in our lives. Come join us as we hear givers, receivers, historians, and critics tell their stories. How does your story answer, what is philanthropy?